So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the Watch Market Update Show. You know, guys, before I get into what I want to talk to you guys about, I'm going to ask you guys for a thumbs up and a subscribe to the channel. We want to get to that 10,000 plateau. 10,000 organic Watch channel subscribers, so they can open the gates and they can flood and come in, like Moses did, Believable that Moses. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Anyway, guys, I'm going to be talking about something that I'm very, very, very happy. I spoke to you the other day about gold, right? About gold, platinum, and silver. And that was on Monday. Today is Wednesday, right? Today's Wednesday. And I told you guys on Monday, gold was at $3,317 an ounce. And today is at $3,374 an ounce of gold. But that's not the one that I'm mostly happy about. I'm happy about platinum. Platinum, I told you on Monday, it was at $1,369 an ounce. And today, ladies and gentlemen, which I started to buy a couple of little bars of ounces, platinum, is at $1,433. I repeat, $1,433. Silver was at $35.99. And today, silver, it climbs up, un piccolo. It's at $36.52 an ounce. So, things are moving around, I'm just telling you, things are moving, so be careful. Don't fall asleep on this. Don't fall asleep. All right? So just to let you know about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have something that I need to talk to you guys about, because some of my subscribers, without mentioning their names and saying who they are, but they are subscribers of ours that have wrote to us emails of explaining to us the new flim flam sketch, grift, scam to fleece you guys out there that's going on, And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this one, it's pretty hard to detect who is the one that's doing the hoodwink, the hoodwink, who is doing the flim flam, who is doing the grift. So I'm going to tell you something. There's a gentleman that purchased a watch. There's still people out there, ladies and gentlemen. There are still people out there that love to buy online. Don't feel bad if you're one of them, but there's people out there that still like to purchase online. From one of your favorite platforms out there, from one of your favorite, whether it's Chrono23, whether it's ZBay, Chrono23 and ZBay, and all those, internet, people you like to buy watches from. It's nothing bad, ladies and gentlemen. People don't have time to go shopping, so they go on the internet, and they buy the watch and they send the money out, and that's it, But there's a new flim flam trick going on that is unbelievable. So this gentleman buys a watch, a Rolex watch. Let's call it Rolex. And so when he buys it, he pays the gentleman. He sends him the wire transfer for the watch, because the gentleman has a website. The gentleman has a social media account, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, one of those pages they have, So the gentleman, you have money and you pay for it, because, if this guy has a website, this man has a social media page, You know, this guy has to be for real. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, because nobody's going to tell you this. This is why this channel is on lockdown, because I'm telling you everything. I'm telling you everything. I don't care. Basically, I don't care if YouTube, you have me in lockdown. That's not a problem. I'm still going to tell my loyal subscribers what's happening out there, because I'm stupid like that, YouTube. That's why. So the person buys the watch. He sends the wire transfer. Now he's receiving his goods via Federal Express, FedEx, UPS, United States Postal Service. I don't know if DHL is still working. I don't know, Amazon, whatever. Which is your favorite one that you like to receive things through, you know? So they send him the watch. They let the gentleman know that his watch arrived. To be picked up, listen to this. Listen and learn. Listen and learn. So you don't become a mashugana. So they send them a little notice. Your package is here. Let's say FedEx. Come and pick it up. Because it's a very high price item. So he goes to FedEx and he picks up his package. And he's a shrewd man, you know? Or at least he thinks he's shrewd because you already sent the wire. He's recording everything from entering FedEx, recording in the counter, and now receives the box and is recording everything. He opens the box in FedEx right there, recording everything. And when he's opening the box, he pulls out the watch. And the watch is not what he ordered. The watch is a Fugazi. The guy goes crazy and he calls right away. Listen and learn, guys. Listen and learn para que no penetren. No penetren. The guy, he freaks out. The money's over there already. The guy got the money in his pocket. So he calls the guy and he says, Mister, I went to pick up the goods, the watch over there in FedEx. And when I opened the box, it's not the watch. It's the wrong watch. It's not what I ordered. It's a fake watch. And the guy over there in the other side of town, I'm going to give you details. He's from Paris. Paris. The dealer is from Paris. 2 stores in Paris, internet, social media, website, all that good stuff. He calls him up. He said, Mr. Paris, the watch you sell me is a Fugazi. Mr. Paris tells the gentleman, el Lambon, tells the Lambon, he tells him, you know what? That's not my problem. I sent you the watch, so you must have stole the watch yourself, or the people, listen and learn, or the people that work in FedEx, UPS, DHL, an example, they're the ones that took the watch. What? What are you telling me? I sent you the watch, so the one that took the watch either was you that took the watch, or the United States Postal Service took it, or DHL, or Amazon, whatever it is, whatever you work with, they took the watch. And the guy went crazy. Crazy. You know, went crazy. He went crazy. Well, what are you talking about? Yes, I have film. Yeah, you might have all the film in the world, but somebody took it. It must have been the people that work in Federal Express that took it. It must have been the people that work in UPS that took it. It must have been the people in DHL that took it. And the guy is going crazy because he can't believe that this gentleman is telling him from Paris, you know, parlez-vous français, is telling him that he sent the watch in good condition, the good watch that he wanted, the one that he ordered, and the one that he paid. So the man is telling the people on the counter, going back to tell FedEx, you know, my salesperson that sent me the watch says that you guys took it back there. The people that work in FedEx, you guys back there, one of your carriers or whatever it is, it took the watch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new sketch, the new attack they have on you guys. And it works like a charm. It works like a charm. Because you cannot tell Mr. Paris, parlez-vous français, oui, monsieur, whatever you say, I don't know what I said there, but you can't tell that guy over there, well, you know, he put the box, the watch, he put it in there. If it's a Fugazi, if it's a China special, whatever, you can't tell nothing. The watch is in there. You're putting your insurance. You're putting this on. All this good stuff, you know, to be picked up on the counter. And now Mr. Paris is saying, you took the watch, or the people that work in Federal Express took the watch. This is the new flim flam they're doing now. And ladies and gentlemen, people are still buying watches in those conditions. You gotta be out of your froggy mind to continue buying watches, you know, from a different country. You know, you gotta be out of your froggy mind. You gotta be out of your froggy mind to be sending 40, 30, 20, 10, $5,000. You gotta be crazy, Papi. You got to be crazy. No, because I did it, and he's telling me I did it because he has a website. Well, I got news for all of you out there. You know, he told me I did it because he has a website. He has a social media page. Well, I got news for you guys again. Sweet Kino, Joaquin to you, Kino to me, we have a website. We have a social media page. The only thing is we don't sell watches and we don't buy watches. But this Lambon, because we're going to call him Lambon in a sweet way. You know, Lambon, but in a sweet way. Palomo, but in a sweet way. He said that he bought the watch because he saw he had a website. And he was in Chrono 23. And not to pay the expenses. This is how they do it. I'm telling you more so you know how the gig works. Okay. They post the watch on Z-Bay. They post the watch in Chrono 23. And then when you call him up, he says, "Look, I want to see more pictures." He says, "You know what? Go to my website." This is how it works. Go to my website. Go there. I have there a video. I have a picture of that watch. And then I also have an Instagram page. Go there too, and you can see it. And let me know. And if you buy from me directly, we waive the fees of this fee, that fee, you know, from Chrono 23, from B-Bay, whatever you call that stuff, you know, we waive all that. Y el Lambon, because you're Lambon, he goes and he looks at it, and he becomes in front of the guy, and he's looking at his page and all that. He said, okay, this guy is for real. Let me send him the money. And they get you. And they get you. And there's nothing. He turned everything against him. He says that the one is the blame to this is him. He also says the one that's to blame is UPS, Federal Express, FedEx, UPS, United States Postal Service. It's a big thing. And they get you, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to watch it. I know you guys like to buy watches online. But, Papi, you're not dealing with watches that cost, you know, $200. You know, anybody can receive the, you know, the punch for $200 and say, they got me. You know, they got me as a sucker, you know? But, you know, $30,000 is, $10,000 is not a sucker, man. It's a lot of money. And you people continue, listen, I'm not going to get to the whole world to tell people, listen, don't be buying things right now online because they're going to keep on getting you up, man. They're going to keep on getting you guys. They're going to get up. You're going to get taken. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. They're taking pictures from this, from Z-Bay. They're taking pictures from Chrono 2023. Taking pictures from Bobby, whatever, and they're using these same pictures to get you taken. And it's very simple. It's you're not spending no money. The only money you're spending is the time you're talking on the phone with the person that you're gonna flim flam. You're gonna flim flam. That's the only time you're spending money. You're talking to that person and you're putting him to sleep. You're gonna put his cover on and you're gonna give it to him. So guys, you guys gotta watch it if you're buying watches online. It's a fool's game. Papi, people are getting hurt. People getting hurt big time. And this person tell me that it's almost impossible for him to get his money back because it is the dealer's word against your word. It is the dealer's word against UPS. It is the dealer's word against, FedEx, DHL, whatever it is, Amazon, Saks Fifth Avenue, whatever you want to call it. I send you the goods. Probably that sketch that you come with a camera recording, that's a waste of time. He doesn't have the package no more. You gave it to these people. They're not experts. They're not going to open the box in Federal Express and say, hey, exactly. This is why we have a smart man here by the name of Thurston Howell III. I told you guys, I can't believe that this gentleman, Thurston Howell III, is saying something that in my chapter 2, how to become a Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market dealer, I explained to you to pay everything with American Express. Everything, even a wire, you send it to American Express. Even a wire. If the watch is a Fugazi, you call American Express. Hey, what they send me here, they scam me, blah, 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 blah. They take care of the rest. You guys don't know about this? You guys don't know that American Express has a wire transfer department. They have a wire transfer. I explained that to you on chapter 2 in how to become a Muppet Boiler Room backpack dealer. You understand? There's nothing like them. But I can't believe that Thurston Howell III, he remembered. He must have remembered that, because I told you guys. People were telling me, thank you, Juan. I didn't even know about that. And I even told you in that video, when I order containers from La Italia, from España, I pay with the wire transfer department of American Express. They tell me from Italia, from Tivoli, in La Roma. They told me my container is coming such day. I told the people, my suppliers literally, listen, we have a dateline that we need to, give this material to my client. If the material doesn't get here in time, I don't have a problem. I just call American Express, boom, they take care of the rest for me. And I've been telling you guys, when you tell one of those watch dealers that you're gonna send them a wire transfer by American Express or pay with an American Express card, they say right away, no, I gotta charge you 5%. This is better if you do it with a wire. What do you care if they charge you 5%? You're protecting your rear end. You're protecting yourself from getting fraud deeply, So I'm telling you this because again, I'm going to repeat it. Thurston Howell III, he said this, and I'm in shock because I was going to say it. You guys might be thinking that me and Thurston are in contact, No, I told you guys, you need to defend yourself from these cockroaches. These people are cockroaches. These people are the worst. They're an infection. They are an infection, and they know all the tricks. They know all the tricks, and this person is not going to get paid one penny. We met in Tivoli. Wow. So, he's not going to get paid for that watch. He lost his money because the guy over there in Paris, he said, I sent you the watch. Who's going to prove that? Nothing. It's nothing. And you think FedEx is going to lose? They're not going to lose either. They're not going to lose. Those people have back there 1,000 cameras back there. They're recording everything that comes in. So you know who's going to take the loss? El lambón. Por ser lambón, he's going to take the loss. And me, I have to tell you this because nobody's going to tell you. It's the new thing. Papi, it works like a charm. It's a beautiful thing. You know it, Mr. Blair. He was taking notes. Mr. Blair, do you remember when I talked about chapter 2? Don't ever wire transfer your money bank to bank, wire transfer with American Express? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? There you go. You see that? So you need to protect yourself. You cannot be hopping around through life like bunny rabbits in the Playboy Mansion when it was still around. They knocked it down already, It's unbelievable. It's gone, It's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I got to tell you, we went to school. We went to school to memorize facts that we were never going to use. You understand that? We went to school to memorize facts that we were never going to use. We were trained to raise our hands and wait for our turn. To dumb down on us. To dumb down on us. And you might ask yourself, and who showed you that? I'm going to tell you who showed me that. I'm gonna tell you who showed me. We went to school to memorize facts that we are never going to use. His name is Paco Gambino, a brilliant mind. A brilliant mind. And I gotta keep on dropping knowledge on you guys. What do you think they do to us? You go to school to memorize the ABC. ABC. They put us to memorize that. A is for apple. B is for boy. E is for elephant. They send us there so we can memorize this thing. We memorizing. Bullshit. And you guys are doing the same thing. You're waiting for your turn. You raise your hand and you're waiting for your turn. You're waiting for your turn. It's incredible, guys. I don't even know how to explain to you things no more. Maybe to you guys it doesn't make sense what I said to you. Does it make some kind of sense? Exactly. Indoctrination. So this is why you guys keep on getting this. You keep on getting this. Exactly. In chapter 2. Papi, I have taught you guys everything. How to be. You want to be a watch dealer? You listen to me. I give it to you for free. It's what it is. We went to school to memorize facts that we are never going to use. We were trained to raise our hands. And wait for our turn. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I tell my son that, and he says, come on, Dad, Papi, it's what it is. It is what it is, son. And the reason we were having that conversation is because I have 3 grandchildren, 3 boys. And I said, you give your kids up to the public education and they dumb down on them. It's your responsibility to do what I would do with you, and you would look at me like I have 50,000 heads. And today, you're 38 years old, and you look at me and you go. So don't forget that, guys. Don't be afraid, man. You know, don't wait for your turn. Hey, what's going on here? ¿Qué cazzo pale? ¿Qué? I said something stupid. I'm sorry, guys. You know, see, you know, you gotta be there. You gotta talk. You know, you just can't. You guys cannot continue hearing situations like this guy over there is, you know, selling watches, Frankenstein. You're gonna go crazy with that sketch. You can say it one time, but not every day. I can't tell you the same thing every day, Papi. You know, I can't. I can't. Exactly. You said it. And people are just, you know, waiting. So what are you doing with your hand raised up? I'm waiting for my turn. Don't forget that. We went to school to memorize facts that we are never, and I mean never, going to use. Never. We were trained to raise our hands and wait for our turn to get dumbed down. I'm just telling you what it is. And these things that happen to people that buy watches like that, you know, they got that kind of school. And this is how they become, you know, gilipollas. Exactly. It's unbelievable but true, Papi. You know, I let me tell you, I'm going to continue dropping knowledge to you guys until you guys perfect it, man. You guys are hearing too much mush, you know, too much mush. The same mush over. There's nobody out there teaching you nothing. It's nothing bad to learn. You need to learn. I would love to learn and sit down with Paco and have some coffee, and I would just look at him and look at him and look at him and look at him, and I would say, oh my God, how does this frogging man know so much? You know, so much philosophy. Philosophy is one of the most powerful tools you could have. You know, instead of giving your money away in a wire transfer and waiting for your watch to get home. You know, you can't be doing that, guys. I know what I'm trying to tell you. I hope you understand me. You know, and I've learned throughout the years from many people. Like a couple of days ago, there's a person that I'm just changing the conversation quickly here, which I look at very much, and I've been looking at him for, I would say, just 30 years. Let's say 30 years, but it's more than that. You know, his name is Thomas Sowell. You know, Thomas Sowell. If you guys don't know, Dr. Thomas Sowell. You know, and in June the 30th, he turned 95 years old. And this man is clear-minded, man. And what he talks about is just knowledge and knowledge and knowledge. So if you've never heard of Mr. Thomas Sowell, you know, you need to look into him. He's an American treasure, man. These people, these are brilliant minds, so genio, genius, you know. He's an unbelievable Thomas Sowell, 95 years old, and his mind is sharper than Sweet Kid Kino's. Unbelievable but true. You know, unbelievable. I hope you understand which is the new flim flam they have for you guys, but I can't get them all. I can't get them all because I'm all alone. I can't get them all. I have I think it's 18, 19 subscribers, and these are the people that can keep on passing, you know, they can the torch, you know, they can keep on passing it down, so you can tell others, hey man, you know, this is happening, and they're gonna get you, you know, they're gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, Mr. Achilles, for the Richard Mille, the Johann, whatever you call him. I have it. I just didn't get it today for you, but I have it for you. I promise you on the next one. And it's very quick. I'm gonna give it to you, okay? Please bear with me. I'm very, very sorry. Anyway, guys, this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you take it to heart. I hope you learn something from it, from it, and you pass this information. We heard this on Opus and Time watches. This is what they're doing, Papi. You're not gonna beat them. You're not gonna beat the dealer. You're not gonna beat them. You're not gonna beat them unless you're paying with an American Express. You pick up the phone. You say, "Hey, this is not the watch I ordered. Take it back. I don't. Oh, you don't want it, Mr. Nieves? No, I don't want it. Take it back." You call FedEx. They say, "Pa fuera. Finito. No problem. That's it. Your money's back and no problem." But stop giving money away to these flim flammers. Papi, fleecing people has become an epidemic. It's a way of living. It's a way of living. There's no more. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me carefully. I've been following a couple of people in the entertainment, business and in the sporting business. One was that gentleman, that boxer, I'm going to say his name, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather. Have you heard a word from him? You're not going to hear a word from him. I told you that. I told you that in April. The owners of the world just pick up the phone and make a phone call. Oye, cállate o te rompo las nalgas. Cállate o te rompo las nalgas. You haven't heard one single word from that boxer. The one that claimed they had $2 billion. You just have a penny. You haven't heard. Because the owners of the world have rules. The owners of the world have rules. Not suggestions, rules. And you can't break those rules. And then you have this other Mashugana, which he greased up so many different people. Greased up. Greased up here. Greased up here and then did this to them. Greased up. If you don't understand me, you Google it. Because I'm not going to tell you. And I'm watching him carefully. And I was telling my son, I was telling a friend of mine's son months ago, I say, nothing's going to happen to that guy. Nothing's going to happen to that guy. There's too many people there. Too many people that he's going to rat on. Too many people. And it looks like he's going to walk away. Bobby, when you belong to that world, when you do you think that MB&F will go bankrupt? Who buys those watches, Bobby? There's your answer. Who buys those watches? That's another Richard Mille. That's another Richard Mille. So I'm trying to tell you something. That guy, the one that greased up a lot of people, in those parties, it's what it is. It's whoever the owners of the world. It's whoever BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, whoever they want. Whoever they want. They let go, and whoever they want, that's it. All right? So I'm trying to give you some information so you guys get with the program. This is what they do to us. They put us to sleep. They put us to sleep, but thank God I had somebody that woke me up. When I was a younger man, my father and Mr. Gambino, Paco, woke me up. If you think the world likes people like me to be awoken, well, I got news for you. They respect you. You have a mind. You have your own mind. You have your own mind. As long as you don't do nothing, to hurt them, whatever, that's good. Anyway, I'm not going to talk no more about that because I might say something that I might put my foot in my mouth. I'm going to give you guys a watch market update, right, guys? Right? Don't forget about the new scheme, the new sketch, the new grift they have, sending you packages when you buy a watch and you pay them. Nothing is going to come in there. nothing will come inside that box that you purchase. And you're just going to get hurt. Right, guys? Anyway, guys, our first watch, it is the Rolex Daytona Yellow Gold, the Leopard. You know what the Leopard is? The Leopard, Daytona. You know, it has yellow stones on the bezel. You know, it has diamonds. It's an unbelievable looking watch, you know? Unbelievable. It's an unbelievable watch. So, like I said again, it has a leopard strap. Leopard. You know, leopard. By Daytona. Yellow gold. It's an unbelievable watch. Good for you, Alberto. I'm happy to hear that you saw the new John Mayer. Not that good. Okay. All right. Okay. So the Rolex Daytona Yellow Gold Leopard, reference number 116598 SACO, 40 millimeter. Unbelievable watch. You know, diamond and yellow stones and all that good stuff. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay more. And today, doctor, don't pay more than $72,000, and it is dropping. Right, guys? It is dropping. Our next watch is an Omega Snoopy. You know, the Snoopy, unbelievable, is dropping and dropping. The Snoopy is dropping, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Snoopy. The Snoopy, you know, Speedmaster. This thing has a reference number so long that it's scary. It is the 310-3242-50-02001. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and don't pay for that Snoopy. You do whatever you want. I want to hear because this is a watch. I don't really, you know, even though I know that Omega is a good watch, I don't really deal with Omega watches myself. I don't. But this watch is, you know, collector's dream, collector's choice, collector's grade, collector's unit. You know, how much do you think I'm going to tell you not to pay for that watch? You know, how much? Anybody know? Omega, you know, Omega Snoopy. That's it. Don't pay more than $11,500, and I will give you a. That's right, because I don't know how that man got it, but he got it. Was that Doc? Was that Doc that said that? You almost had it too, Mr. Donovan. Doc got it right in the head. Doc! 11.5. That's it. Don't pay more than that. I think it was Doc, man. Yes, it was Doc. 11.5. Don't pay more than 11.5. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Richard Mille RM1103. You know, titanium, skeletonized. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch has a flight back chrono, you know, skeletonized. Unbelievable. This watch at one moment, ladies and gentlemen, this watch, it's an embarrassment to say that this Richard Mille titanium watch, you know, that has stabilization, you know, when you hit a golf, you know, with a golf club, you know, unbelievable watch. It's incredible. Was over $400,000, ladies and gentlemen. Over $400,000. And I'm going to tell you, because I'm stupid like that, don't pay for that Richard Mille watches. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, about Richard Mille. I made a video on a Richard Mille watch that a friend of mine that plays golf with me, he picked me up, you know, and we were going to go play golfing. And he came and he picked me up, and he has beautiful, you know, white rubber, black casing on his hand. I said, man, I told him, my God, where'd you get that new Richard Mille? It looks beautiful. And he told me, yeah, it's mechanical movement, blah, blah, blah. And he was telling me all this stuff. And guys, you're not going to believe where this watch was from. This watch, Jose Diaz is saying $172,000. That's pretty good. He was telling me, this is not a... Exactly! It's an Invicta! It was an Invicta. Poppy, it was an Invicta. Invicta. I couldn't believe it. I made a video on this. Ed, please tell them that I made a video. Tell everybody that I made a video on this. And I was in shock. I was in shock. It was super light. And if I tell you how much he paid for it, and this friend of mine has plenty of beautiful watches, but he wanted He wanted to frog around with me, so he got me, and I couldn't believe it. But I made a video on that. He lives in Miami. The Invicta guy lives in Miami, exactly. And it's unbelievable. So I'm just trying to tell you that, you know, they can get you taken. Don't pay for that Richard Mille RM1103 titanium skeletonized, you know, fly back, chrono, all that good stuff. Don't pay more, and I mean don't pay more than $165,000. And that watch, ladies and gentlemen, is dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. I know what I'm telling you. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. I am the #1 watch market update show in the world, chosen by no other than Fudinki. Don't forget that. I know what I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Yellow Gold. Listen to this. Rolex Yellow Gold GMT with a black dial. Yellow Gold Jubilee bracelet. Yellow Gold, black dial, black and gray ceramic bezel. This watch, when it was first released, it went all the way up. It went all the way up, like the song, all the way up, all the way up. They're not like us. They're not like us. All the way up to $65,000, $70,000. And there were people in a big line, a real big long line, a big long line of lollipop suckers, window lickers, tomato cans, crayon eaters, cow tippers, possum kickers, ready to give the $70,000 for that watch. You know, Rolex GMT Yellow Gold Jubilee bracelet. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because you need, oh my God, what's up with this Doc, man? What's up, lady? Look at this. Look at the comment that Doc just wrote right now. Look at it. Look at it. Look at him weep. God, look at it. Look what he put down. Don't pay for that beautiful Rolex GMT Yellow Gold with a Jubilee bracelet. Black dial, black and gray ceramic bezel. They call it the Bruce Wayne. Don't pay for that watch. Reference number. You know, I'm going to give you the reference number of that watch. The 126718GRNR, 40 millimeter. Bruce Wayne. Don't pay more than $35,000 and drop it. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Papi, and they're telling you that the watch market is up and running. People are running to the hills. People need to know what's happening out there. People need money to register their kids in La Escuela Católica, you know, in private schools, university tuition. You know, there's no more free government money out there. Dried out. No more. No sean pendejo. No sean pendejo. Our next watch is a Rolex White Gold Oyster Flex Black Dial 40 millimeter. This is the new reference number of the Baby Le Mans Oyster Flex Black Dial, you know? You know, you can also call it the Darth Vader. Luke, Luke, Luke. Unbelievable, this watch, you know? Reference number 126519LN. The Baby Le Mans, ladies and gentlemen. The Baby Le Mans Daytona. Unbelievable. Does anybody know what I'm going to say for that watch? Go ahead, Doc. You're on fire. Do what you want. You're on fire. Nobody knows? Well, here it goes. This is the new reference number. The new, la referencia nueva. Okay, Mr. Donut. Okay. But don't pay. Don't pay for that Baby Le Mans Oyster Flex. Don't pay more. And I mean, don't pay more than $39,000. And, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't be lollipop suckers. Don't be crayon eaters. Don't be tomato cans. Okay? You forgot. Okay. Okay. Here it goes. We have another one here. The Rolex Stainless Steel. Rolex Stainless Steel GMT Sprite Jubilee bracelet. Not the Oyster bracelet. The Jubilee bracelet, ladies and gentlemen. Reference number of this watch is the 126720VTNR. You know, 40 millimeter. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch, when it was first released a couple of years ago, this watch was over $45,000. $45,000. Retail price is somewhere $11,800, something like that. All right, $11,800. 800, something, something to that effect. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because you need to know this. You need to know what's going on. Don't pay for that Sprite Jubilee. Don't pay more than $14,900 in dropping. Right, guys? We got to say the truth here, boys. We can't make up numbers, We got to say what it is. We have to, I'm going to talk about a watch which I have a lot of respect for. And I believe one of my Organic Watch channel subscribers, I think, I don't know if it's Ed Blair or Mr. Damon. One of those two, they like the watch H. Moser and Chi, the Alpine, limited edition to 100 pieces. This is a monster. This is why there are watches out there that, you say, wow, these watches, are made unbelievable. These watches, the Moose. The Moose, Moose, Remember when you were a kid, you watched Bullwinkle? Bullwinkle and the other guy, I think it was a moose, I don't know, I think that's what it was. But this watch, for real, H. Moser, man, they really make some beautiful watches. Their craft is unbelievable. I like. Yeah, Rocky. Rocky and Bullwinkle. Oh my God, this is therapy for my mind, boys. This is therapy. You don't know. Rocky and Bullwinkle. Thank you very much for telling me that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Donut. Thank you very much. Thank you. So the H. Moser, the Chi, the Alpine, the Alpine, 100 limited pieces, man. This is, when I tell you what this watch has, it's unbelievable. It's streamlined, Alpine, a 42.8 millimeter casing, skeletonized, with three-dimensional movement, cylinder. This thing is unbelievable. I keep on going. I'm going to keep on going. Tourbillon. This is a monster watch. I mean, a monster watch. Monster watch. Cylinder with a hairspring and flying tourbillon, blue strap and a little bit of blue of the little one of the gauges. This is a monster watch. But those watches drop faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. The retail price of this watch, ladies and gentlemen, is $98,000 plus your Uncle Sam's taxes. And I'm going to have to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. It's a beautiful watch. And I'm going to have to tell you this price. But ladies and gentlemen, this price to me is still too high. But I have to give it to you because it is what it is. I can say don't pay more than $10,000, but that's a lie. That's a lie. Yeah, exactly. You had to be. But I think it was, but it's a beautiful watch, Albert. It is. Even though it's skeletonized, it's a very, very beautiful. It's beautiful. I've seen the watch. It's very beautiful. But what Mr. Donut's saying is true. You got to pay $100,000 for that watch, a stainless steel, like somebody asked me, what do I think about, MB&F? It's another flop. I don't care what they say. I don't care if they specialize in making movements. I don't care if they do this, they do that. If they're like Richard Mille, the same thing, But this watch, I think it's better made than most of those watches. They're very, very hyped up in prices. So it's $98,000 is the retail price, and I'm gonna have to tell you, don't pay for that watch more than $59,000. Right? You do whatever you want, but I gotta tell you that watch is dropping every day. So I said 59, so don't forget, it'll probably go down to 56, or keep on dropping because they're dead in water. Right, guys? Dead in water. Our next watch is a Rolex Date Rainbow. candy, the rainbow candy, on the pave down with the rainbow hour markers, green, yellow, purple, all those beautiful colors, exactly. Purnell too, Purnell, exactly, Purnell, the hungry hippo, Mr. Magoo, and Deputy Boxing Black Eyes were having it out with the Purnell. Don't pay more than 10 cents to the dollar on those Purnells. Don't be misogynist. Don't pay more than 10 cents to the dollar. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going back to the date Rolex, Unbelievable, that Rolex. Rainbow, with the hour markers and candy, It's just an unbelievable. A pave dial, 36 millimeter. And this watch, ladies and gentlemen, they still have it out there for 76, 78, 79, $80,000. That's right, a 36 millimeter. But we're truthful here in this channel. We're truthful. Exactly. Deep, 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 deep. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay. And they're telling me I need to get rid of it. I need to get rid of it. And this is the price. And I tell them that's the price I'm going to give. Well, you're telling me. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch, whatever you do. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay more than $56,000. You do whatever you want. It's a woke watch. You said it. You said it, Mr. Albert. You said it. It's a woke watch. It's unbelievable but true. It's unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an unbelievable watch that you guys need to know about. It is a Rolex Yachtmaster. It's an off catalog. It's an off catalog watch. And this watch is fully iced out with a yellow gold casing. Unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen, It's an oyster flex, all that good stuff, pave. Pave down, it has everything. This is an unbelievable watch. And it has a bezel full of diamonds. And all around the casing, it has diamonds, inside here. Diamonds everywhere, It's an unbelievable. It's a, it's a, it's a button pressing machine, when you send your money out. And that's it. You're not going to believe this, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to believe this. So this watch, this is an off-catalog watch, Reference number 226668. T as in Tom, B as in boy, R as in Rose. All right? It's an unbelievable watch. Unbelievable watch. Yellow gold, 42 millimeter. And ladies and gentlemen, they have this watch. This is off catalog. This is an off. You have to be a colossal, a mammoth, double mammoth. They take you in the back room, they take you in the back room and they give you the cheap, champagne. Well, you know what? When we go there, they always give us Moet Chandon. I don't know. It depends what AD you belong to, but the one that I go to, they give me exactly off catalog is that. You're right. All right, you're right. But it's a watch that at one moment, was up there $250,000. $250,000. $250,000. Monster watch. Monster watch. Fully. Indian Creek Colossal Mammoth. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Blair, for saying that, for helping me out. I need your help today, Mr. Blair. So please help me out. Step in and help me out. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that off catalog. Don't pay more. Listen to this. From $250,000, the Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, was, flipping it to you guys. Don't pay for that watch. I wouldn't pay that. I wouldn't buy that watch. It doesn't interest me. But I wouldn't pay for that watch more than $110,000, and it is dropping. All right, guys? It's a beautiful watch. Not for me. And maybe for my daughter, maybe my daughter, or I don't know, but not for me, not for me. You were close, 105, I said 110. You were very close. Mr. Donald, you're on fire. I'm telling you, Mr. Donald, I don't know what you're doing. I think you're cheating on me. You're selling me out. You're doing something. I think you're playing around with Rocky and Bullwinkle, you're playing with. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a watch that in my time, in the late 90s, millennium, it was an unbelievable watch. And today, I still find it to be an unbelievable watch. I just don't know what happened to to the marketing and the branding of this watch. I'm talking about A. Lang and Son. A. Lang and Son. White gold, you know, case, black dial with outsized date power and a 72-hour power reserve. This is a monster watch, Papi. You know, 41 millimeter. This is, when I tell you the price of this watch, this watch right here, this watch brand, I put it next to, you know, if people that know about this, please feel free to write whatever you want. But this A. Lang and Son, you know, these people specialize in making complication movements. Work of art. Work of art. 41 millimeter, you know? It's a leather strap. If you don't have leather in your collection, you're not a real collector. You must have leather in your collection to be a real collector. You know, maybe it was the best there is. Unbelievable. But when I tell you this, you're going to go, wow, what happened? Papi, in this watch, back in the 90s, in the early millennium, man, you were talking about, I mean, you were talking about, back then, you know, $45,000 is the equivalent today to 100,000, right? I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong. We're going back 30 years, 25 years, easy. And this watch, I just finished telling you what this watch has. You know, it's unbelievable. This watch, one more time, you know, white gold case, black dial, without size, date, power reserve, 72 hours. Ayúdame, Alberto, que you know about this, Albert. Help me out, Albert. You know about Lang & Son. I know you know about Lang & Son. I know for sure you know about Lang & Son. This is a beautiful one. This is a monster Lang & Son. But enough of it. I'm going to tell you with all honesty, when I tell you the price, it's sad. It's sad. Don't pay for that watch. And if you pay more than what I'm going to tell you, you are a lollipop sucker and a window licker. Ready for this? Full set. Don't pay for that watch. That's what I'm telling you. You know, those hype watches are still around, man. Those hype watches are still around, killing people that they shouldn't be killing. Why would they be killing a Lang & Son? This is like a F.P. Journe, Patek Philippe. You know, it's a monster watch. Don't pay for that watch. Ready? Don't pay for it more. Does anybody know what I'm going to say? Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you, Tim Wright. This is Mr. Tim Wright. He's a good friend of mine, folks. You guys should go all follow him. He gives tremendous content. Right now, he just sent us a super chat, and you guys should follow Tim Wright. He's unbelievable. He's a good friend of mine. You know, he's a good colleague of mine. I have a lot of respect for him. I call him in a sweet way. You know, he knows this. I call him in a sweet way. You know, I call him the West Virginia One-Eye Whitaker, but that's in a lovable way. I call him Tim for real. If you guys want to watch some beautiful, you know, information, you need to go see his channel. All right, Tim? Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you so much. Don't pay for that Lang & Son. Don't pay more than $21,000. That's an embarrassment. $21,000 is an embarrassment. Papi, that's a type of watch you put on with a pair of shorts, you know, and a roll-up sleeve. Papi, and you know, they throw panties at you. Panties. You know, if you like panties, they throw panties at you. If you like Fruit of the Loom or Hanes underwears, they throw you that too. You know, it depends what you like. Okay? So there it is. You got the Lang. Next watch, ladies and gentlemen, is a Vacheron Constantin Overseas Rose Gold Tourbillon. Beautiful blue dial. Ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about a watch. This is a $200,000 retail watch. You know, boutique, mammoth, colossal, back room, back there. I think in the Vacheron Constantin boutique, they give you Macallan. They really do. This is an unbelievable watch. And this watch was over $300,000. And I'm going to tell you because you guys are my friends. You guys are like Chucky, you know, my friend to the end. You know, Chucky, the little toy. You should be a bad guy, you know. Don't pay for that watch, and I mean this, don't pay for that watch more than $91,500. I don't know what happened to Vacheron Constantin, but I'm telling you, this is another monster watch, but it just ain't holding on. It ain't holding on. Our next watch is a Rolex Stainless Steel Celebration. Rolex Stainless Steel Celebration. Celebration dial. 41 millimeter. Reference number 124300. 41 millimeter. Ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. But I told you when they were talking about that watch getting discontinued, it was going to drop faster than Billy Boy's pants in our Arkansas farmhouse. And I'm going to prove it to you. It sold a couple of months ago for 25, 24, 23. And don't pay today for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $17,900. 41 millimeter stainless steel, Oyster Perpetual. You know, don't pay. You do whatever you want, but don't do it. Don't be misogynist. Okay? Thurston says 17. You heard what I said. You heard what I wasn't far. These my organic watch channel subscribers are smart people. You know? Remember, we went to school to memorize facts that we are never going to use. We were trained to raise our hands and wait for our turn to get dumbed down. Don't forget that. Our next watch is a Rolex Stainless Steel. No, I said the Celebration, excuse me. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak Stainless Steel Jumbo. You know, blue dial, thin. You know, reference number 16202 with a beautiful blue dial, stainless steel. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $61,000. 61, all right? And we also have another AP Royal Oak stainless steel with a blue dial, reference number 15202. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that one. You know, it's the same one. You got the 16202 and you got the 15202. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch. And here it goes. Don't pay for that watch more than $48,000. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you the last watch of the evening. I really hope you guys have learned something with this watch market update. Use it to your advantage. You know, put it away in your drawer. So when you need to attack people, you attack people. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak. Stainless steel. 15400. Blue dial. 15400. Don't pay for that watch and you do whatever you want. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay more than $34,500. Okay? Dropping. Well, guys, this is the ending of our show. You know, it's the ending of our show. And I'm going to have another watch market update for a couple of people more. They're asking me for Richard Mille, Johann, whatever. I'm going to get you that. But I'm just letting you know, those watches are dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Be careful. You know, we're going to be able to buy those watches. You know, we're going to be able to buy those watches the same way that we're able to buy today Frank Mueller, Hublot, Alain Cyberstein, and we don't even look at them. We don't even look at them. You know what it is that? You know, we don't even look at them. So, you know, when that happens, you're not going to look at no more at a Richard Mille when they're stupid cheap. You won't. Or, you know, the one that told me the MB&F. You know, they're talking about going bankrupt, la-di. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this show. You know, I really do. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, you know, and like our videos. It's really going to help our channel continue, you know, getting out there. You know, we have an attack on this channel. Cyberstein, yes. We have an attack because we bring too much truth. But once we make that, you know, that leap, that hump, we'll be all right. Right, guys? We'll be all right. I really mean that. Again, Thurston, I gotta tell you something, Thurston. Thurston the third. I was really, really in shock when you said American Express. Did you say American Express because you just said American Express, or you said it because you remember of a video that I talked about, wire transfer and pay your things with American Express? Tell me, what was that? Thank you very much, Thurston, for that super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It makes me continue going on, It really does. It gives me the fire to keep on going, This is what I do for you guys. I don't do nothing else. I don't do nothing else. I'm not here. I'm not here. Okay, there you go. Wow, very well. So you know what I'm talking about. Hey, Ed, did you write that down what Mr. Thurston Howell III said? See that? All right, guys, it's been a lot of fun with you guys. It's been a lot of fun. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video. We also have a private group. It's under my name, Juan Nieves. Scroll down to Opus and Time Watches and request to join the group, and maybe Samantha and Sweet Kid Kino will let you guys in. All right, guys? Alberto, you forgot to join the group. We're waiting for you, Alberto. Join the group. Anyway, guys, like me and Sweet Kid Kino will say always, take care and brush your hair. Peace.